now you've been a councilman for how long now?
January would have been 2 years.
And what have you learned in your first 2 years being on council?
Definitely time consuming. Been some great opportunities. So I got know a lot of people. Really got to get involved in the local politics here in the county. Kind of see what the daily operations is. Got to know a lot of most of our great employees that we have that works for us here at the county, and it continues to grow every day as far as the knowledge that's shared with me as a council member, and we continue to basically learn and hopefully move the county forward.
Now, based on your experience, one of the things you've been really involved in is law enforcement stuff.
Yes.
What kind of stuff have you helped accomplish there during your first couple of years?
Well, I guess one of the biggest benefits with public safety, being public safety chairman, it couldn't happen at a better time. Not taken away from previous administration at the Sheriff's Department, but with me coming on new, fresh as public safety chairman, and also having a history in law enforcement and getting to work with a new sheriff that had new visions, new goals as far as what he wanted to see with Anderson County Sheriff's Department, and it's just been some great opportunities with that. And as far as looking at things that I've accomplished, I really don't look at it as much as what I've accomplished, because I tell every one of them that we deal with as far as public safety, we're here as a resource. We're here to basically kind of help move things forward. If there's something you need, whether it's funding, whether it's different resources, different agencies, different departments as far as the county and whole coming together to assist moving your goals forward, and that's what we want to do. So, I mean, for the most part, I think we've been able to be a good resource to the new sheriff and also to the other agencies.
Has anything surprised you about being on council that you didn't expect?
Yes, you get surprised every day with council. When things are good, you don't hear quite as much. When things are bad, they point fingers, and it's definitely county council's faults. Taxes. I mean, I hear on a regular basis we waste our tax dollars. We're not efficient with them. We've got high taxes. When all actuality, the truth is, and being involved in council, I guess know a little bit more as far as what the truth is on that. Really, our taxes is fairly reasonable. We do have high taxes in Anderson County, but I mean, if you look at other counties, our taxes are very reasonable as far as property taxes. Our school districts, they do absorb a lot of our county tax that comes in, and people don't take the initiative to sit down and truly look at that tax bill. But I mean, a lot of those funds are going to the school system to ensure our children gets a good education, which in return gives our children opportunities of getting a better paying job with some of these new industries that's coming in Anderson County. We are so blessed with economic development right now. Being involved in council, we get to see firsthand the new developments that's coming in. Burris Nelson, Rusty Burns, all of the staff at economic development, the committee members. I mean, it just goes on and on with different folks. I mean, that puts a lot of time and effort in growing our county, but in doing so, it gives opportunity to literally change lifestyles. You've got people that's worked in a textile industry or worked in a lower paying job. We've got industries that's coming in that's paying $25, $30 an hour, and I mean, it's giving these people opportunities to literally get a job that's paying that type of money, get a better retirement system, better medical insurance, which allows them to provide better for their families and gives them better opportunities. So I mean, it's just a continued growth that kind of has a domino effect all the way across the board throughout the county.
What are some of the biggest challenges facing county council in the year ahead?
The budget is always the biggest challenge, and this interview is at a good time with that, because I mean we're really getting ready to. Actually, we've already started on our budget. Department heads supposed to have had the preliminary request in the first, I believe it is. So I mean it's coming up, and we're starting that process, and naturally they have their needs and their wants as far as the different department heads and departments throughout the county. And, I'm comfortable saying their goal was to provide a better service to the citizens. At the end of the day, county council has got to somehow figure out what can we fund and what can we not. And basically manage that throughout the different divisions to ensure at the end of the day we're keeping our taxes at the lowest rate possible, but yet we're providing the best service and the most quality service we can possible. So I mean, it's kind of a juggling act, but we've got some great members on council. Got 2 new ones that came on this year. Definitely looking forward to working with them through the budget process. I definitely think we've got some challenges ahead. We still got the second tier of the raises for the employees for Anderson County. We're definitely committed to that, and I mean we're going to move forward with that as well. But with that, I mean that cost burden is there, so we've got to figure that in, plus whatever the other needs are that's brought before us. I mean, I know I've already spoken with the sheriff and EMS, some of the divisions that touches directly with public safety, and I mean we've got needs that we're going to have to continue to grow with. Our EMS system, as you can imagine, I mean we're operating with X amount of providers with ambulances currently. Well, when you're putting industry in and putting growth in like we're putting in right now, the northern part of the county that's growing rapidly with new residential growth, again, every bit of that is just kind of like a domino effect where it's going to continue to grow, where you're going to have to provide better fire service, more EMS service, more law enforcement service. I mean, you've already got your entities stretched thin, so I mean, I'm sure we're going to have to look at add some new services on that as well, which means basically we're going to have to continue adding that into the budget. So I mean, we got a lot of plans in place. I'm sure it's going to get hectic when it comes down to the wire as far as meeting our budget and getting in under where we need to be on it. But I'm comfortable with the fellow council members we have, with Chairman Dunn and also with the Finance Committee. I'm comfortable in saying we'll definitely get it, and at the end of the day, hopefully be able to provide the services we need to with the county and keep our taxes at low rate that they are.
Y'all have some mandatory things y'all have to fund that you're not, like the one sewer is one of the big ones, and roads and some things you have to take care of.
That's exactly right, and roads. That seems to be the hot topic. Anytime a citizen comes up, the first thing they mention is, "I wish they'd fix this road," or "I wish we could get this road paved or that road paved." The biggest thing when you get in municipalities, you got roads that's maintained by the municipality. You got roads throughout the county that can be maintained by the county or by the state. And I mean, so with all that being said, just because you see a road with potholes, I guess the next question would be, who owns the road? Who is financially responsible for maintaining the road? Because the gas tax, it goes to the state, which now with that gas tax, they're able to divert some of the money back to the counties to help maintain our roads as well. But again, it's you got to look at the particular road, determine who it is responsibility, and then you got to determine how we're going to be able to fund it, whether it's a municipality, whether it's a county, or whether it's a state road. Municipality roads, Miss Wilson and myself, we probably have the most mileage or most municipalities in our districts, and I think Craig would probably be the next one with naturally with the city. But I mean, with that being said, most of your municipalities don't have funding particular for roads. I mean, we got to somehow divert money from the county to even assist them on that. So I mean, it's a juggling effect. But I honestly think the Secretary of Transportation, Anderson County Transportation Board, I truly think that we're making some headway. Some of the gas tax money is starting to come in. Some of the things are starting to get scheduled. Jobs are actually being implemented and being completed right now, and other ones are being put in as far as on the schedule to be done. I think this summer, when the warm weather comes in, and actually the rain has naturally put a damper on a lot of things over the winter time, but I think through the summer, I think you'll see a lot of difference as far as money being spent on the roads, on the state level, and also the county. So I think you'll start seeing some difference on that as well.
Do you think the average citizen understands the issue of sewer in the county and how important that is?
No. In fact, if you get out in the rural, most of your residential, they're going to be on a septic tank system. So in their mind, there's really not an issue there. Star and Iva, I'll give you an example. 81, there's several tracts of land between Homeland Park down towards Star that's for sale, industrial tracts that's for sale right now. Well, something you've got to take in consideration to develop that, you've got to have sewer in place. It's not an option of once we get this buyer in place, we can move in and put the sewer lines in place. That's not an option. When they buy that property, they want to implement and get that construction started and get it moving quick. So with that being said, the county almost has to go out and invest in that sewer infrastructure ahead of the game. And we're doing that. The Sewer Ad Hoc Committee is doing a tremendous job as far as moving the county's needs forward on that. We're developing pretty much all the way down 85. We're going to end up having sewer access, which is a tremendous benefit as far as developing to new industry. Sometimes I think some of your average citizens, they don't realize how important that investment is, but that's what attracts companies like Arthrex. That's what attracts TTI, First Quality. These companies are Michelin. I mean, it can just go on, but these companies are coming into Anderson willing to make an investment in our county, but with that, they're bringing jobs that's going to provide our local neighbors, our children, our friends, family, jobs that can literally change their lifestyle. But on top of that, it's also going to give them opportunity where they can go out, they can buy a piece of property, and all of a sudden they're creating a tax base that they're able to pay back to the county, which is going to continue to grow the revenue coming in from property tax. And it's going to spread that expense across the board to more than just the ones that's doing it now. So, with the industry growth, you're going to get growth on residential. I talked to a lot of people down in Belton, Star and Iva, and there's different areas in my district that we'd love to see industry come in, but there's a lot of areas in my district where they'd rather see residential growth. Well, for you to get in your car and get up in the morning and get in your car and go to 85 to TTI, to go up 76 to Arthrex, go to Michelin, over on Michelin Boulevard. It's short drives and commutes to your work, and then you go back home and you're still contributing back to that community because you got that tax base there. So I don't have an issue with residential growth, and in fact, we'd love to see some industry growth in our district as well. But a lot of our citizens down in my district, in District 3, they're really looking more on this. They don't want a tremendous industry right there in their backyard. They'd rather see the residential growth. But you've got some spots on 81. You got some industrial sites in Belton, down toward Honey Path, that we'd love to see industry growth. And it's going to take place. Our county is really booming right now. And again, economic development. They're selling us. You would think. Anderson County is the best thing on the market right now because they're doing a great job.
Well, let's remind everybody, you have a very large district in land-wise. Can you remind everybody what your district is?
I do. My district, it literally covers, basically I go up and touch into Homeland Park area, go down 81, actually cut down 29 south all the way to the Georgia border, come all the way back down, touching the border all the way down on Star side, goes down into Iva to Abbeville County, comes all the way back up, goes over to Lake Secession, cuts across, got the entire city limits of Belton, Star, Iva city limits, and basically then comes back up around Neals Creek and comes back out over to 29 again. So I got a large area. Lot of my district is farmland, rural, just country folks that's out working, trying to make it a nice place for to raise their family with. So I've got a great district. Very, very, very pleased with it.
Are there any other challenges? You mentioned trying to get industrial and more residential. Are there any other challenges facing your district that you'd like to address?
Well, I mean, naturally with your smaller municipalities, it's a continued thing across the state, across the country. Um, it's just hard to have a revenue strong enough to come in to truly support municipalities and their needs. They're just like the counties. There's a lot of things that's passed down through the state that's mandated, and they don't have a choice. I mean, they are to do this, and they have to do it. And with that, normally when there's something comes across the board that they have to do, there's costs there that they have to provide as well. And when you look at the small tax base that they have, it's basically just a municipality tax base that they get on the property tax bill. Some of them gets hospitality, from your local restaurants that helps do some things as far as parks and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just not a huge enough revenue coming in to provide the law enforcement service, the fire service. Belton City actually they have the fire service, law enforcement, trash pickup, water bills, all the way across the board is what they're providing. Town of Iva, they don't have the fire service, but they got the rest of it. With that, again, that tax base has got to provide that revenue to cover those costs, and it puts a hardship on the small municipalities. They all do a great job as far as managing it and continuing to grow, but I mean, it's still, I mean, it's definitely a hardship on it.
Is there anything other than the budget you kind of got on your radar for the year ahead you'd like to see the county look at, or?
I guess probably a couple of things that I guess kind of weighs heavy on me. I definitely love to see our recreational programs grow. Sometime I wonder if it would be a better system if it was a combined rec program. Not saying it would, not saying it wouldn't, but I know Belton, Star, and Iva, all three, has a very active rec program. Belton actually has a recreational director and also staff on board as far as part of the municipality. They do a tremendous job as far as providing services to the youth in the community. Star and Iva is basically all volunteer. They have both of them has their own board rec members, but again, they're all volunteer. They go out and do fundraisers throughout the year. They keep the costs for the kids, whether it's t-ball, basketball, whatever the case might be. They keep it down at a minimum where the parents can afford to put their kids into sports. It's some great programs throughout. I would probably say I'm probably one of the most fortunate ones, and I'm gonna brag on my district on that. As far as with rec programs, I know there's some other ones that's great across the county, but I think we got 3 jam up rec programs, and the rec directors, the board members. I mean, they're definitely commended because most of them they have grown to awesome programs through volunteers. Just basically devoting time after time after time of commitment to it, whether it's to coach a ball game, whether it's to referee a ball game, or whether it's to raise money as a fundraiser. And I mean, they've done a great job with the resources they have. And
finally, we don't have a lot of, seems like, participation at council meetings. I know you probably get a lot of phone calls and stuff. Would you say anything, you want to say anything to encourage people maybe to be a little more involved in the process?
I would love to see more involvement in the county council meetings, but really not only in the county council meetings, but in all the events we have. Whether it's a litter pickup day, that's probably one of the hottest topics right now to all the council members, I'm sure. I mean, we get phone call after phone call of this road is just trash, there's litter everywhere, and we don't have the luxury of sending inmates out by the bus loads to pick up the roadside no more. I mean, we're very limited on what we can send out and do that. And our county, I'd be the first to say, it is a shame with the amount of trash we have on our roadway. But to correct that, it's going to take every one of us working together through education, changing mentalities, whether it's a teenager seeing mom and dad throw a cup out the window to when they're driving, they throw that same cup out the window. I mean, we've got to change that mentality. We've got to educate people that It's not okay. It's not acceptable to do that. Kind of like smoking. Years ago, smoking was the cool thing. It was the common thing that people done. Now people almost looks down on you for smoking. I mean, they almost look at it as a nuisance. We need to do the same thing with litter. I mean, we need to truly look at it as a nuisance, and we all, as a county, have got to stand up and fight that fight to make it better. I went to a conference this past week in Columbia, and Palmetto Pride was down there. I actually reached out to the director with them, and we've got a few things that we're going to try to work on and trying to change our ordinances and hopefully make it, not that we want to punish people, but if someone's caught littering, we want to get their attention, and a smack on the wrist is not good. I mean, if it's $100 fine, put that $100 back toward cleanup in the county. But I mean, in the same respect, let's hope the next time they're not going to throw it out the window. That they're going to learn a lesson as well. I mean, we've got to truly change that mentality. But the key there, I think, probably more to take away than anything, every citizen in Anderson County has got to step up and be an advocate for that. It's going to take every one of us to correct the issue we have with litter. It is not a one-person fight. It literally is going to take every one of us working together.
And this is not an election year, so this is not a political question, but if somebody were thinking about running for council or office, what would you tell them based on your experience?
If they're thinking about running for office, I hope the reasoning is to bring some good value, whether it's to council or whatever seat it might be. And if that's it, I tell you, I think once you go in, you get involved. It's not always fun and games. It's not always a cakewalk. It can get very personal at times. People, instead of addressing an issue, they'll want to try to address something back towards you in a negative manner. But I can honestly say I've truly enjoyed being on council. To this day, I'm very appreciative for the opportunity and very honored for the opportunity. I never dreamed, when I was younger, that I'd be on county council one day. Every decision I've made, there's been decisions I've made that's been tough. There's been decisions I made that people has not agreed with, but I can honestly go home at night or lay my head down and know that the decision I made, the information I've had, was the best decision for Anderson County in a whole. Not just for District 3, not for Ray Graham, but for Anderson County in a whole. And there's been times I've made a decision, and a couple of days later I've gained other information. I'm thinking, I probably would have handled that different. I probably would have voted different. But I mean, you do your homework, and we as council members, we come up here on a regular basis, reach out to different employees, different division heads when we've got things going on, and we try to get as much information as we can to make the best decision. And we're very blessed with our employees for Anderson County, especially after last year and this year with the pay raises. Hopefully it's beneficial for them to be working here. But there's no question our employees, they give it their heart and soul. They truly put a lot of effort in their jobs. And I think they do it because they truly care about their local citizens, about the local people. And I think they have the same mentality that I have as a council member. I think they're honored to be able to serve the citizens. And I mean, I'm kind of speaking on their behalf, but I mean, I truly think that's what our employees' mentality is. And I mean, with that, how can we not give them a raise? How can we not give them better opportunities with their job? Because they do a great job at what they're doing.